arm right here? What's that say? It says the not fucking around crew. That's what that says.
Here we are. The wire's bothering me, but we're live on Hot Topic with Copville with myself and Jordan Ennis. He's ready to go. He's always in his t-shirt, usually eating, and it's been a week. Anything interesting there in Sandy Springs this week?
Yeah, we had our first murder for the year.
Oh,
we almost made it through 2025 with a murder. So yeah, not good, but yeah, we almost made it to the end without one. Yeah, man.
there's plenty around you to go around.
Yeah,
right?
there's plenty around. There's a shitload of it to the south of us, but we used I was figuring we were gonna get through the year.
Break it. Hold on.
Over the past week.
There you go. Breaking it. There you go. Was it a easy slam dunk like domestic?
Mom killed her daughter.
Wow. What race? I'm losing.
I do not know. I don't know.
Oh, okay. I just asked. Crime
Yeah,
statistic.
I don't know.
What's up, Jerry? The self-proclaimed heroes are here. You're right. Dylan, always a huge supporter. We appreciate it. So, there were some headlines in my town this week. I don't know if anybody noticed it, but I'm torn. One of our deputies got arrested for some type of aggravated stalking and computer usage. Weird statute they use for computer usage. I looked it up, and I guess essentially what he was doing was our David is our database, driver's license database for seeing pictures and stuff, and then maybe accessing computer data records to look up addresses and stuff, and then they did a search warrant on the old phone, which never goes well. That never goes well. I'd rather lose both legs than have somebody go through my phone. So, and you know what? Accountability. That's one of the things I obviously, and sounds like he did some things wrong. But there's always, when it comes to Ennis County and our sheriff, as you saw in my thumbnail, and that there's always a hometown twist. One of the twists is the deputy's dad is a county commissioner. He's also one of the county commissioners that voted down the sheriff's budget. So obviously, if you break the law, you should be held accountable. But I personally know of at least 2 other people that have done very similar things at the sheriff's office and were found sustained in internal affairs investigations, and they didn't get arrested. They used the computer, they looked up phone numbers, they showed up in weird places they shouldn't be showing up. So this one seemed to be, I don't know, it just like any other conspiracy, because there's factors, and I'm not saying it is. I'm not alleging there's just conspiracy or anything, but it just has that little twist to it that there's little extra there. It caught some local headlines there. So I'll pull it. I don't want to pull it. I was going to pull it up. I'm not going to pull the dude's picture up. I'm going to pull up. What I want to pull up is what the sheriff said at the hearing or at the press conference.
Give us non-Floridians the Cliff's Notes version of what he allegedly did or didn't.
So here's what happened. So and again, they hid the fucking arrest affidavit. Another strange thing. So what he did essentially was he went to what I was told. Again, this is allegedly. We're being sued, so I'm going to go with allegedly. What I was told was he was on a call with a female, and somehow he admitted something, didn't do something, and he had her phone number, and he texted her after the call and said, I didn't do XYZ, I didn't put your name in the report, I didn't do something, you owe me one. And that was it. And then shortly thereafter, a week and a half later, I was told that he then sent her a picture of her gate of her subdivision and was like, I don't know what he said, something like, I'm outside, I'm here, I'm close by. That in and of itself, if you went to a call and that was 2 civilians, that wouldn't break the threshold of criminal. We'd probably be like, yeah, calls back if you know what I'm saying? It's like, but there's more. I guess there was they went to his phone, like I said, pictures, but essentially what it was charged with, and I read the statute, was almost like he was using his work computer to look up people, find out addresses, facilitate.
Yeah.
And then I guess they went through the old burner there, the work phone, and there was videos in his car, and let your imagination run into that. Pictures and videos in his car, just all that. You know what I'm saying? So, but the strange thing was the gap of investigation. This is a Steve Ladner conspiracy. Was March until October. That is a pretty wide range.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah,
for
and very specific too.
Yeah. I think the dates were in it, like March whatever to March October whatever. Well, allegedly, the first victim was a friend of the sheriff's wife, is what I'm told. And maybe that was relayed to him. And initially it was like, oh, whatever. And then it became a problem when some other people came forward and they're like, hey, you guys knew about this. And now this is going on. This is what I'm speculating. Yeah. It's a 30 fucking page arrest affidavit, I'm told, too. 30 pages. I've had first degree murders that were like 3 pages. I've had wiretaps that were 30 pages, like on a drug organization. So, let's see. You'll listen to Sean Ryan with Charlie Kirk. I don't really listen to Sean Ryan. How was it, Efren? I just started it. David says hi. What's up? So
was the deputy new?
No, he was. I actually supervised him. Oh. Here's the other. Oh man, I'm gonna get fried. I don't care. I supervised him, and he had a really hard time wearing his vest. He was one of those guys that was lazy, like just didn't do it. He was kind of like an Eeyore type guy. But I sat with him a lot in the first thing in the morning when I was a sergeant, and we talked. And he never gave me any type of stalker vibes, but he was kind of lackadaisical a little bit here and there. But there were other things that happened. This is where the conspiracy for me with the commission the dad being a commissioner, is he did some things that were brushed under the rug, like multiple times not wearing his vest. And it took like 5-6 times till he got suspended finally or something, got a letter. There was another incident where he made and this is a problem in this agency, but I know firsthand, he made a comment to a female trainee about the way her pants fit as a FTO. That's probably not your best comment to a female, right? Like, hey, you're an FTO, and hey girl, them pants are a little tight. Like, probably let's not point that one out, right? But that was nothing done. They just, and now dad votes against the budget, and so that's the conspiracy I think that's going around. That, but no, he was an FTO. I think he was a fireman beforehand, and then he, But there were some other incidents with him, and I don't dislike the guy. I hate talking about him but he, if it was me, I would expect everybody to be like, hey,
if you do something fucking stupid, it is what it is.
And because there was another incident, I guess, where he, as a joke, and this is a no-no. They were on a boat doing something in the water on the river with a call for service, and like a pelican landed on the boat, and he whipped his gun out as a joke, like he was going to shoot the pelican in front of a bunch of people. And they're like, bro, what are you doing with your gun out? So dumb things.
Yeah.
But have you listened to it? Just hear her side of the story. So stuff like that. But this is what the sheriff had to say at the press conference, because you know what they did? They put him on the fucking TV. And here's the funny thing: they won't put our deputies' booking photos in the website, but I'll put it up real quick. They had no problem blasting them across the screen up there in the background. So here's what the sheriff had to say.
Or a deputy or anybody in a trusted position, we're going to hold you accountable. Doesn't matter who you are. We're going to make sure that there's justice for these victims.
So that was the sheriff's version. And that's when I heard that's what sparked my episode this week. Was it's really difficult for me to sit back any further and go, you act so innocent and so great, like you're doing everything, and this guy's got a horrible past. And that's where I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna point out some of the things he did in the same realm, where he stalked his ex-wife, and I knew about it. And I was ordered, I talked about it in my episode, I was ordered to take my body camera off, leave it in the car, to be briefed about not talking about it ever again. Just things that people don't understand happen in law enforcement. And probably you don't have to deal with that in your place, but these Florida, everybody thinks Florida, man. This is the crazy shit that's going on down here. And
there's I hear stuff through here, but like, that's not that there's doesn't police departments to go through that shit, but sheriff's office is always the one predominantly you hear weird. It's either like really small BFE, like 5-man police departments that are involved in some ridiculous shit, or like sheriff's departments and stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. It's Jerry says. Oh, that's Jerry. Where's he at? It's always do as I say, not as I do. Yeah, and I some people. So you think like we always think people are seeing us and watching us, and it's not. People. I got a call from a guy today. He's like, "Dude, I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel." And I'm like, "Yeah, for a while now." And he watched the Eustace episode I did for that captain a couple weeks ago, where he got shot in a line of duty and how he got screwed over. And he's like, "Bro, I didn't know this stuff was going on." I'm like, "Bro, it's going on." I'm like, "You've seen 34 episodes of what I've been able to publish with people willing to talk."
Yeah.
Think about all the messages I get, like you said, from these small town podunk places that it's unfortunate that everything in law enforcement has seemed to turn from fighting crime into backdoor wild politics. Then because a lot of guys that did the job for why you do it and I do it, they never make it to in charge.
Yeah.
And they don't understand the fundamentals of police.
The discussion's always like someone's always they said a long time ago, like if you're good at what you do, it's your duty to promote. And I kind of do understand that part of it, but if you look at, I mean, there's always lots of guys. There are lots of guys that end up and are good guys get supervisor roles, but especially like very large scale police departments. If you look at the command staff, it's all generally one type of person. They never actually policed. They were like the king of like hide and go seek or queen of hide and go seek. They never really did shit. So, but it just goes along the lines. A lot of times you have a person in charge of a police department that has no fucking idea how to police. Yeah.
I mean, this guy's one of them. I waited a long time to start talking locally because I didn't want it to look like, hey, I left and then all of a sudden. But as I see things, it's the same thing. I talked about it in the episode the week before. He was on the road, a couple years, 2 years or so, got straight to investigations and never came back, never struggled another day.
And that was another thing. Like that's another version of it is like they could have back in the fucking day, they could have been a legit ground pounder, but they've been off the street for so long that they've lost the edge or they have no idea what it's like to work the road anymore, but they're still making decisions about what happens on the road. They have no idea.
Yeah. And then I mentioned an IA investigator today, and I guess a couple people got mad because they're friends with her, but like the person that did the IA for a couple of years in my agency was a female that didn't really she'd never been in a pursuit. She'd never been in a critical incident, spent like 2 months in investigations and quit. And it's like, how do you end up investigating other cops for critical decision-making and incidents that involve like high speed tactics and stuff that you've never done? So of course, if you see me take a guy to the ground, you're gonna be like, well, I never would have done that. Of course you wouldn't have done that. You would have probably never even pulled the guy over.
You have no idea. You'd have been drinking coffee. You would never have looked at that guy and go, well, I know who he is because I studied the streets and I know he's a drug addict and I know he doesn't have a license. You'd have just been there could have been a dude over there with a suicide vest on, bomb, and they would have never noticed him. So how do they rationalize? Well, why did you chase him? Why did you go after him? Because he's a fucking criminal. Like I'm looking to put criminals in jail. Like they don't even understand that. So how can they understand a takedown or a use of force or a pursuit? Or like I always said, I got a little worked up. I got a little excited. They don't even understand that version because nothing at the job has ever got them that excited. No, it's been like, they drive around in an unmarked car and they have no stress. They didn't have stress because they deal with paperwork. You don't get stress from paperwork.
And you dealt with it. You were a supervisor in that. And I'm sure when you went to meetings and command staff, you're looking at these guys like, how the fuck do you come up with these ideas?
Well, it was so annoying, like trying to explain to the people that I worked with, like the decisions they were supposed to make. You know what I'm saying? You're like, how do you not know this? How do you not know this? Like this is like, how you got me? Then you hold their hand, and you have to explain it. You have to explain it to them in a way that they come up with the idea. When they come up with the idea, then it's a really, really good idea. But you're like, yeah, great decision. Even though they just say what you said in a different tone of voice.
They take your words and repeat it. I've been in meetings where they repeat exactly what you say, and everybody goes, "Man, that's great," and you're like.
Yeah. There was times we'd be doing stuff. We'd be looking for like equipment or whatever. The biggest thing when we started, they were like they were going to get us faster cars and all this bullshit that they promised us that never fucking turned into anything. And then you explained to them how it was, and you explained to how things were going to go, and the like kind of lay it out. And then you didn't hear anything for like 3 or 4 months. And then like you get a phone call, you talk to them. This is how we're going to do it. And their plan was exactly what you said to them months ago. You're kind of like, gee. That sounds great thinking, guys. Great thinking.
Always. Did you see the Nevada road rage incident where a child was shot through the car? Shooter said he did. Yes, I did see it. It was pretty bad. Jerry seems to be the pattern. Yep. Keith Salmons. Did he say no matter who they are, they will be held accountable? Yes, he did say that. He doesn't hold himself accountable.
Do as I say, not as I do.
Yep. And the frustrating part for me was going into those after I got promoted to sergeant, I went and sat in those meetings. And like you said, you walk in and I don't know how a sheriff's office managed to promote a group of people that the last thing on their mind was police work. Yeah. I sat in meetings where they bebop in late. Who's got the donuts? They're cooking omelets in the fucking break room in the DB. The DB lieutenant's asleep at his desk. Like all these guys come into this meeting, and I'm sitting there in tack gear with my vest on in the meeting because I want to go arrest people as soon as the damn meeting's over. And they're just in like one of them's got like a wildlife fishing shirt on. One's in a suit. One's in like an untucked polo. One dude's carrying a 365 SIG in a full duty kit when you're not supposed to. You're supposed to have a full duty weapon when you're in gear. Like nobody holds any of that accountable. So how do you, my point there is, how do you expect everybody in the agency to operate, wear their vest, not stalk women, not use a computer, not supposed to do their time card, when the very people in charge look like soup sandwiches and look like shit always? Yeah. It's not good math when everybody walks around. We got a deputy chief, dude. I think he just eats candy all day. He goes from desk to desk. And he was a patrol captain at one point. I've talked about him. And he just goes room to room to room to room all day long. Dude makes like 150 grand, 160 grand to just walk around all day. Been a cop like 37 years, making all that money, just walking around. It's like, bro, like give something better to do, like nothing.
They're comfortable, man. Just get in a position where they're just fucking comfortable, man.
Yeah. Can you please do a podcast about mental health calls, bigger acts, what required? Do you think there's enough training? Do you see those working on this? Yeah, we can do one on that. Maybe we'll hit that as a topic. I mean, that's always right at the tip of everything. Now they're starting to send those, which I totally disagree with, is like those mental health professionals are going on police calls, and that's going to end bad.
Yeah, that's going to end violently, and there's going to be such fallout from that when one of them gets roached. It's going to be bad. It's going to be bad.
Because it's a hard enough time getting a legit cop to show up to those. Then you got a civilian. Excuse me. Jerry Worms. Most administrations only think about limiting the liability of the agency, so backing off a proactive calls work is taking a backseat. Yeah.
Well, the people again, if you can look at it, so police departments are a business, right? And like the person that they're gonna hire, like you're gonna hire the person that they are generally risk averse, right? Because you don't want them to be kill them all, let God sort them out type of guy, because that the amount of lawsuits that's just going to come with most places don't want your just the scorched earth approach to catching criminals, because of the lawsuits going to come and the bad optics and whatever, and they don't want that. So they're not going to have somebody like me. I ain't going to be no fucking chief of police, right? They're never going to put me in line, but they're going to put someone who's the person is going to they're going to be a yes man. They're going to be a company man. They're going to be a nut fluffer. They're going to sit down with whoever runs whatever county, city, area you're in. You're going to sit down with the city council or the county commissioner or whoever, the people that are your boss, and you're not going to say, this is what I can do for you. This is how I'm going to run this job. You're going to be like, what do you need me to do? Yes, sir. I got you, sir. Whatever you need, sir. That's it. That's it. And because you're going to be like, because they're going to put out things of the perks you're going to have and the money you're going to make and all the things and you're going to be like, this is fantastic, because you care more about your position and your status and your ego than taking care of your guys, going to war on crime, doing what the job's supposed to do, because you're fucking selfish. And then you are going to bring in people who won't threaten your ego or your self-esteem, because they're not going to challenge you. So you have this soft serve fucking command staff who's all going to be like-minded, and the guys below it, like you and me, are going to be like, what the fuck? How did we end up here? Why is Gary in charge? Gary's a fucking pussy. Why is Gary in charge?
This is where on anti-hire we would yell, let him cook. I have a sticker ready. I have a meme ready. Let him cook. You mimicked what I said this sheriff did in Inver County. He had tough people that are gone. Everybody in his inner circle, that there was a night when the signs were able to be put out. The very first night, we could put the yard signs out under his first term.
Yeah.
Every single dude that was in his living room at fucking midnight on their free time to go put those signs out at 12:01 a.m. is gone.
Yeah.
They're no longer in his circle or friends with him. He surrounded himself with cowards and weak men because it got tough. But here's my problem. You're the city. I get it. What you just said about a city chief is has to answer to a council.
Yeah.
These sheriffs are elected. The only people that can get them out are the people. Why would you rather be in the news for cheating on your wife, having an affair, or getting caught doing some shady shit when you could be standing out there going, we fucking put everyone in jail. Yep, we crashed another car. Yep, they rolled over. Yep, don't run. You don't like it? Get rid of me in 4 years. But until that day, we're doing it.
Yeah.
And they have the power to do that. But what do? This dude's got the budget so jacked. He had another meeting today. This is like a 6th fucking budget meeting. And if you are a citizen in Amarillo County and you can't see that Eric Flowers does not know how to run the sheriff's office at this point, you're a moron. He's giving money back. He's taking money. He doesn't know what his money's doing. He is meeting after meeting. He's suing them. He's not suing them. This place is a fucking disaster. And it's unfortunate that the citizens and the deputies and the people in this community are stuck with this guy for 3 more years. And I hope all your little feelings and all your other stuff that you thought about this guy, I hope you're seeing it, because he pulled some slick move. You know, at the end of the year, they always have extra money to give it back.
Yeah.
So what he did was he had like $1.5 million, some number like that. He didn't tell anybody he had that money left. He asked for all this. He asked for a massive increase. They said no. Then he negotiated like a third of it, like $5 million. Okay, we'll give it to you. Then he's going to sue the county commission for defunding the police and all that. And I have a whole, you know what I got. I'm not even going to get into that one yet. I haven't dropped that. So then he does that. Then he comes forward and goes, oh, by the way, I have 1.5 million, and the tax collector and the property appraiser and the clerk of the court also have money to give back because he had already met with all them. That equals like $5.8 million. Can I please have all that money?
Yeah.
They waited. Gets better. Then he comes forward and he says, I need my 1.4 I gave you guys back because I'm actually owe another $1.something million. And they voted today and they said, get out of our office yesterday. Like, get out of here. So he didn't even get the money back that he wanted, that he gave them. So he has completely played a game of, like, I don't even know if you want to call it. He's not Chad. You know, when you try to stick the blocks in the wrong hole, you're like, that's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing, dude. It's like, you can't mess this up on purpose any worse than he has. You can't do this on purpose and go, it's like, I don't want to use that analogy. It'd be like crashing a car into a wall and be like, yeah, I'm a driver instructor. And on your first drive, you wreck your car. That's what he's done. And people,
that's what he have fucking financial guys for this shit.
I'm running late. Have everyone told everyone how self-proclaimed heroes need more funding? We need money. Don't defund the police.
We need money.
Jordan, can we see your dog? Is the dog in the room?
Here.
We're dog friendly. Maybe.
Here.
Well. Self-proclaimed heroes have declared war on residents for paychecks and pension and the rules and safety and security. There we go. There's your dog. Come up.
Oh. He's old. He's old. There he is.
There he is. Beautiful. We're huge dog fans here on Copville and huge. Mine won't come in here. You're lucky. Mine sit right outside the door. They hate this room for some reason. Guys like Jordan are the ones that need to be shift supervisors, lead by example, and inspire the troops. The not fucking around crew. Democrat. Yep, that's Eric Flowers. He is a Democrat. Self-proclaimed heroes are welfare recipients that always want more money. Yeah, kind of right. All right, so I got some videos. Let's see what I got here. I got a wild. This one looks like, I think this is it. All right, so I first watched this video. I thought this was another country, but this isn't. This is in Newark, New Jersey. I watched this video.
Country.
It is another country. So people who have no duty to protect anyone but themselves cry for 24/7 from what? This, I thought this was another country. This is Newark, New Jersey.
You can hear the gunshots, multiple rounds, and you're looking at two shooters. Fox 5 News just obtained this video within the last hour or so. There are multiple surveillance cameras in the area. This.
So here I want to show the caption. This is the caption that somebody else wrote. I did not write this. On November 15th, surveillance footage captured the moments two engineers walked up Chancellor Avenue in Newark and opened fire on a group of doctors standing by a liquor store at the corner of Chancellor Avenue and Leslie Street just after 1900. The attack killed, this is the sad part, the attack killed a 10-year-old boy and a 21-year-old woman and left 3 additional victims wounded as the shooters advanced from the sidewalk and fired multiple volleys before fleeing to a nearby residence. Doctors and engineers at war in the streets in Newark. It's a problem, huh?
You see that Baltimore cop got charged with attempted murder?
Attempted murder. Yeah. Somebody said your dog's legs are bigger than mine. That's probably true. Here we go. Oh, we don't condone that behavior. Newark has a rich and vibrant culture. Yeah, I've been there. So I thought that caption was pretty funny. I mean, not the part about the kids, but the other part. All right, what else we got? I don't even know what half this shit is. What is it? Oh, this is this book. Hold on, I gotta remember. Oh, this okay. Did you see the FHP pursuit in Tampa? Tampa,
where the guy crashed into the fucking.
Yeah. So here's a hit piece on FHP because, like we just talked about, people are going to get hurt. When you enforce the law, sometimes people are going to get hurt.
Yeah.
This is like the news hit piece on FHP.
FHP pursuit policy, and we are taking a look through this tonight at 6 o'clock after a deadly crash in Ybor City this weekend. We're looking through FHP's policy. A lot of law enforcement experts telling us it was changed just last year, and some of those changes make it more risky. Other law enforcement agencies in our area do not pursue to the same degree that FHP does. We are asking why. We'll let you know when we find out tonight.
Why? Because they're liberal, soft agencies. Tampa, Hillsborough, who refused to help FHP. Lee County's over there. They don't want no smoke. It sucks when people die. I don't want to see anybody die. But you can't. You guys have went to a zero tolerance pursuit policy. I know GSP, what is it? Arkansas State Patrol is absolutely out of control. Like they do everything. But I mean, when you get into a city area like that, I can see, and it started on the highway. It was 2 dudes racing on the highway and it ended up in Ybor City in the crash. And it's unfortunate. And I've always said, even before, better watch how I say this, before someone shot Osama bin Laden, because we know somebody shot him. I used to say, even if the federal government was chasing Osama bin Laden in a car and they T-boned my family and killed them, I still wouldn't be okay with it. Like, there's nothing that you could tell me like, hey, your family died in a pursuit. I don't want it to happen. But at the same time, we cannot let criminals just run rampant on our streets.
And that's why I think, and I'm not touching that, but I think a trooper missed a pit at one point or whatever.
He did very early on.
Yeah, I think when because they called it off prior to that, so I'm saying that's no like if so correct me if I'm wrong. They discontinued as when he went in the city. They were out of it.
They were like observation mode. Yeah,
they were out of it. So and that's the thing is like everyone wants to. So when horrible tragedy happens, someone just to feel better, someone needs someone to blame because at some point someone did some shit, right? Yep. Well, I mean, you can't. You pick someone. Pick the motherfucker who ran. Right.
We don't do that.
I know, and that's the part. That's the part that fucking sucks.
Yeah. All right.
I never. It's awful. It's awful when innocent people get hurt, and the odds of it happening are extremely low versus how many times the pursuits and stuff actually kick off. But I mean, it's part of it, man. It's part of it.
Yeah, the sheriff in Georgia we covered that a couple weeks ago. Remember the guy that moved the gun and then he went nuts? He got charged and arrested. Supplicam heroes didn't show up until everything calmed down. Let me know. What this Jordan, did you see the Brazelton PD chief was just arrested by the GBI for stalking and misuse of license plate? I did see that.
I did not. I did not see that.
Yeah, stalking. It's a common thing among sheriffs and chiefs. Very common.
There was a LPR data get you fucked up, man. There was I know there's a couple guys. There was a trooper that he got fired for doing the same kind of shit. He worked a crash. He worked a crash, and then on some chick he found attractive, and he ran her shit through GCIC, and then called her like 10:30 at night, like fucking talk, like come on, bro.
Yeah, it's tough.
Bro, yeah.
Towns County, yeah, that was the guy who got arrested. I don't know if it's Star Chase system. You know that?
Yeah, Star Chase. APD has that. It's a GPS. It's a like
that thing that shoots out on the trunk.
Yeah, shoots out.
I saw it. Okay, but you could. That's still not. I mean, 100%. I mean, the problem with that, again, if you want to put bad guys in jail, they just ditch the car and then nobody's in it when you find it.
Yeah, I mean, it's an asset recovery tool. That's all. You're gonna get the car back, but you're not gonna get the bad guys.
Where I live, you can hear the machine gun from the Mexico, and sometimes a 50 cal shakes the windows in my house.
A fucking move, then. What? That's not a flex, bro. That's terrible.
Yeah. The cops always blame someone else. Look at the contrast of the two comments. The cops always get blame. The cops always blame someone else. That's America. That is back to back, very good contrasting comments. Yeah. And then we got somebody that's going to argue with Steve, so that's going to go sideways. Steve, you're wrong. You wrong. Oh, me no wrong. That's the name of the guy too. I see what he did there. So, yeah, I mean, I saw the guy in Baltimore, and then we don't know the context, but that's a little rough. That's not an armed subject. It's tough. I mean, attempted murder seems kind of
attempted murder's a little fucking good. Yeah. That's aggressive, but okay.
Yeah, and an update from Sal. I've been talking to Sal Drotti up in Jersey. You want to talk about a guy, and all of you listening, please look up the Sal Drotti case out of Jersey, and if you have time, write the governor, write your people up there. Just send a letter to New Jersey. They keep jerking him around. They cannot find a use of force expert to say that the incident was wrong. And on top of it, he's now finding all the evidence that was omitted from the grand jury, or whatever it's called, grand jury. Yeah. And then the use of force expert that they claim they found last week, he has published 9 different opinions that favor and cover exactly what Sal did and justifies it. And then when he went to court last week, it was, well, we retained him, but the check hasn't been cut. And he didn't cash it yet. It sounds like they're just dragging this out. Yeah. This poor guy sitting at home, can't work. Just the most amazing family. I went up and met him last month in Philly, and he bought me a cheesesteak, so he's even better. Mm-hmm. And it's the most injustice I've ever seen a cop treated in my life. And there's nothing he can do. He's in that cesspool of Democrat garbage, and nobody cares. And it's not a Fed case. So even the people I know that are federal government guys, they can't step in. It's a New Jersey attorney general case, and it's horrendous. And we keep praying for Sal and his family, and we hope that you guys can help out. Just look into Sal Drotti, New Jersey. I said, maybe I talked to his mom. Maybe if we just write enough letters to the outgoing governor, even though he's a Democrat piece of garbage, maybe he goes, okay, on the way out, let's just get rid of this. Somebody's got to get rid of it because it's horrendous. Yeah. All right, trying to break him financially. What do we got here? I feel completely safe because self-proclaimed heroes act too bad. The will rise up like a fire-breathing dragon and put some ads in check. I don't even know where he went with that one. All right, what else do I have video-wise? Oh, here's a good one. Here's a good one. This guy got a little bit of heat at the station after this.
She knows. Oh shit!
Hold on, I got to turn the music off.
Oh yeah.
There's the glizzy on top of the.
Yeah, I saw that, dude. Yeah.
For those watching at home, there is a patrol rifle on top of the car. Let's move it back. Start at the beginning. There is his work gun, patrol rifle on top of his car. That's Iowa?
Yeah, Iowa. Yeah.
What the fuck happens in Iowa? So that's a weird place to put your firearm, right? Your gun on top of the car, like on a high SUV. I can see if it was like the Charger. He's a relatively short guy. I'm sure that went over. His
everything right out of his ass when he saw that shit. He's like, oh Christ.
Well, yeah. I think at first it's probably cool. I bet he had no idea that it was being recorded, and then ta-da, 2025. You got to remember everything's on video somewhere. And speaking of Flock and the license plate readers, Sean Elliott's in here. He's a huge supporter here locally. He was pointing out a case was just decided somewhere on the West Coast that Flock is public record, and that
What?
yes, somewhere Washington or Oregon. Sean might correct me. I think he knows it exactly. Somebody won a ruling that the data collected is public record, and it's subject to public records request. So you can go, hey, I want to know if you ran my tag. And many agencies just went, fuck it. And they shut it off because they can't keep up with Washington. Washington State, there was a ruling in Washington State that there was it's public record. And that throws a curveball. Because I already found a website called Flock Me. And you just put your location in and it shows you every low license plate reader that's already in a database. And now you know where to drive around it. But yeah, I guess due to public records requests and first being all that, they just shut it off. Yeah. Flock is the devil anyway. They're just like Axon. What Flock has done is they've created a great product, but they will not allow it to work with other programs. So like Finder, for instance, the one that I spoke to your agency about, they can collect all the RMS data from your the fuck, my brains went out. Your records system, all your CAD notes and all your record system updates every couple hours, and it pumps it out. Well, Flock does not allow their data to go into those programs unless you pay like $1,000 per camera. Whereas most people go, here's a $2,000 license for everything we have. They cornered the market by saying, nope, per camera. If you want that data dumped into that database, you have to pay per camera. And it's like, just like Axon has created the, ultimate monopoly.
I wish I had bought stock in Axon.
Freedom Information Act requested a bunch of agencies for Flock data, and some of them just quit or gave it up. That's what I was told. A couple of the agencies shut them down for good. Ring is getting piped in Flock now too. Oh, really? Yeah, Axon turned out to be. I mean, they remind me of like the Terminator movie, of like the takeover. It's not a robot right away. They're slowly creating a monopoly. Yeah. And I was talking to my wife tonight about like body cams and stuff, and like public records requests and the data, keeping up with it. Because Polk County, Old Grady, that everybody loves, Polk County does not have body cameras, and Brevard County, Wayne Ivy, do not have body cameras, and FHP does not have body cameras. And they're still getting away with it. But I can see where Flock is probably just simmering down for a bad shooting or something controversial, and then they're gonna, like a George Soros attack, they're gonna fund that attack on those agencies. Go, ooh, if they had body cameras, we'd have been able to see it. And I think at some point they're going to have to. I mean, I'm an advocate. I don't know about you. I'm an advocate for the body cam. I think it's.
I love it. I love having a body camera.
Man. I would not want to work without one.
I love it. Yeah, GSP for the most part still doesn't have it too. There's a couple of guys that work at like the Capitol and shit like that they have it, but for road troopers usually they don't have it.
I'm surprised they can have it, like selectively have it. That seems dangerous.
Yeah, I don't see. My thing is I never looked at, because there's no legal requirement forcing you to do it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing that dictates the kind you have or how you wear it or whatever. So I mean, kind of, I think everyone just kind of got on board with it because it was just what everyone else was doing, and it was the easier. It was the more accepted, route that the
problem I have with body cam. The only problem I have with body camera is just like everything else. Now that you can see, you still can't see. So you're very focused here, and you can't feel. Like the human
can't feel, can't hear, can't smell.
Yeah, the human element where you see somebody react on body camera. It's kind of like when you interpret a text message and you go, "Oh, that guy's being nasty." Well, it just says, "Okay, I'll see you soon." Well, he said it mean. Well, no, it just said, "Okay, I'll see you soon." The body camera to me takes that feeling of like you're supposed to put yourself in the officer's position in the place they were at the time. If he's 5'5", 130. You got to pretend you're 5'5", 130. If he's 6'5", 270, you have to pretend you're 6'5", 270. You can't just look out that lens and go, well, I would have done this and I would have done that. And I think we've gotten very bad about judging people based on body camera when you don't instead of putting yourself in that situation, it's like watching a movie. Well, go left, go right, run from the monster. Well, you're not the one behind that body camera, so it kind of goes both ways.
I did the me and a couple guys, we T&E'd body cameras, watch guard body cameras years and years and years ago. And it was when I was working interdiction. I wore it on my chest, and I was like, "This is gonna be cool." You can see them, whatever. Well, I'm fucking tall, so I got to bend down, and it's just aiming at the side of the door. You don't see shit. You can't see the guy. You can't see the person. You can't see anything. I was like, "Doesn't even." And we did it for like a month, and they're like, "Yes, it's stupid." And they got rid of it.
In my the one that got me demoted, I pinned myself. I had the guy up against my chest for a good amount of time.
Yeah,
which was the time that my siren was going, and you couldn't see the mom and dad come running out, screaming and yelling, hurling insults. Which I always said that there's now a halo law. We talked about it, but even before the halo law, there's a thing called obstruction, and they did that. But because you couldn't see it, I got dinged. Well, look, you can't see it. I'm like, but I can see it because I'm here, but I'm looking this way and I'm yelling, get back, because they're right there interfering. But because the body cam couldn't see it, I actually caught.
Same thing for me. Like if I'm anytime I go fisticuff somebody, like I'm on you, and it's either you're not going to see shit because I get chest to chest or chest to chest, chest to back, whatever. You can't see it, and like the last VNR did, it actually I was holding the guy, so I tried to turn my camera off. So I'm saying like it's just kind of it's good for a lot. But a lot of times, especially for physical altercations, you're going to hear muffling, scruffling. It's going to get ripped off.
Yeah,
But so they're good. The benefits. I definitely like it. I definitely see there's benefits to it. But it is absolutely not the smoking gun of did or did not.
Yes, because it misses things. It's still a camera, and you still have to account for the officer's words. Still mean something, good or bad. I mean, I'm not defending, we should all not get in trouble, but anyway, I don't feel people push for body cams as much anymore because it's a double-edged sword. They wanted to point the cops in a bad light, but it also shows a citizen. Yeah, I think I'm an advocate for it, even, at 100%. I think everybody should have body cams, but at the same time, you have to have a mature, mentally stable administration that understands that sometimes things won't get caught on video. Sometimes you have to take the video and also listen to what the guy said. And that's my thing, is the feeling of the officer still now, if it's completely irrational, like, oh, I was terrified and there's a 3-foot child standing there. Well, yeah, you weren't terrified, dude. But you can't tell me because of what you saw on the body camera, I didn't feel unsafe or I didn't feel like it was a threat, just because you see what you don't think is, and you're not there. You don't feel it. Like I said, all those things go in the little, like we talked about last week with the guy in the back seat where he said, I'm going to do something bad, and then he did it. Like, you don't get that. The body cam doesn't convey that and your interview still has to stand. But when they want you, dude, they'll get you. And
too many agencies put so much, like they are the be all end all of getting you into or out of trouble. Like they're like APD, you get disciplined. Like if your body camera, if you don't activate it or whatever it is, like you get fucking paper for that. You're like, come on, man. Like, this is not even, you can't put that much stock in any device you have. None.
No, we're not real time at any river. What we do is, when I was in the crime center, and your Indian River County Sheriff, when he got rid of me, never filled that position in the crime center with another sworn officer, which is very.
What's real time?
A real time crime center. Our real time crime center, like you guys have one, like the analysts.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like a.
No, our real time crime center was. I was in there, so if you went traffic and you sounded funny or looked like I thought it was off, I'd go right to your body camera and we pulled it up and we'd watch and we'd coordinate other assets. But I think some agencies do run the body camera around the clock. Ours is obviously on all the time. We had a officer involved shooting where the guy killed somebody with a knife, and he never had time to turn it on. And there's a mode that is always on. There's no audio, but there's always video, and it goes back. Actually, goes back 24 hours. For you guys that don't know that body cam is on in your living room 24 hours. They can pull up in an emergency anything they want. But yeah, it's just. It's got to coincide with your statement. Still has to stand on something. Here's a good one for you. That's his gun. and that is a bag resting on his gun. New York.
Solid. There's no crime in New York.
New York PD. The things I get sent is bananas. Like it's a lot. Axon has those workforce cams at real time streaming. Yeah, well, you can real time it. Yes, for Double Wide Dan, your body camera, if it's Axon, is always recording in a very low mode, but it's always on. We had a deputy that was on a call. He cleared it. He drove. He heard yelling in the other parking lot at a racetrack. He just drove like, what am I hearing? And this guy's coming across the parking lot, so he hops out of his car and he's like, what's going on? He never had a chance, and the guy rushed him with a knife and he smoked him. And it was captured on the store camera, clear as day, but his body cam was off. He never thought to turn it on because obviously he's in a critical incident, and the last thing on his mind was body camera with 2 hands on his gun and a guy with a knife. But they were able to go back and pull the body cam off the camera. So that is always on. What else I got? Oh, here we go. Gotta have our TikTok star of the week. Look at this guy. I might have to turn the audio down if it's copyright.
Not to exaggerate, but I feel like I'm already tired tomorrow.
Is there no way we can get rid of him?
Not without cause, Michael.
I have cause. It is because I hate him.
You have to get along with Toby.
No.
Yep.
I don't.
Goodbye, Michael.
What do you mean my post only has 12 views? I've watched it like 30 times.
What do you think about that?
Fucking bored ass dude.
Can you imagine? I can imagine because I did it. I just hate it. I feel so stupid sometimes that I can like put myself there, and it's really bad. It's really bad.
I just want like, do you finally find out where he works or anything like that?
No, I can't anymore, Jordan. I get so many. It's like I see him, and I intentionally do not open TikTok. I can't. My TikTok is, you want to slam your head in the door. It's just, there's thousands of cops, thousands.
Oh, I know. Oh God, yeah.
It's scroll, cop, just, and I'm like, oh my God. So every now and then I fall for it. I probably get 150, 200 messages a day on Copville, and I'll click on the TikTok and I'll watch it. And I'll be like, motherfucker. So then I go in, and once I'm in, it's like crack. Once I'm in TikTok, it's like, well, I'm here now. So let me scroll. And then I'm like, oh, this one's terrible. Record. Then I'm like, oh, this one's even worse. Record. Then if I get in the rabbit hole, which I did, I had to stop. I'd be over there with slow motion trying to catch the patch. Then I'm on Google. Which Texas agency has a pine cone on their badge? And I'm over there like 3. And then I know it's been 3 hours, and I'm like, I'm done. And all they're going to do is talk shit anyway. So it's like, I'm done. Yeah. By 95. That was a wild one. Steve says, I don't believe anything self-proclaimed heroes say without evidence. That's a safe sometimes. They shouldn't be recording like that. The reason doesn't matter. I agree, but it is. Could you get Steve at Ghost Bed? He's crying a lot. Don't forget to check out Ghost Beds. Use code CULTURE. I believe it's CULTURE. Let me make sure.
Yeah, fact check that.
Yep. Hold on. Let's run the ad. I love this ad from Tyler.
What's up, everybody? So I just want to give a quick shout out to Ghost Bed, one of the OG first-time sponsors of the Anti-Hero podcast back in the day. They've been with us since day one because they have the widest variety of beds and bedding for the lowest price. I would suggest checking out their patented cooling sheets. They keep you cool on summer nights, especially people that live in hot-ass states like we do.
So don't forget to check out ghostbeds.com/culture for 10% off on your bedding, sheets, pillows. They are a huge supporter of Anti-Hero Broadcast and Counterculture. So check them out. And what do we got? I got a Ghost Bed. It's actually awesome. Of course it is. That's why we would only use awesome stuff, because we had one of our sponsors that I used to push that doesn't have awesome things, and we actually get ready to drop the new one. So we're not going to talk about them. But what else is going on in the world? We got sued by Rob O'Neill. Did we talk about that last week?
Yeah. Well, you started talking about that. You didn't get
talked about Rob O'Neill. He filed a lawsuit against us.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're being sued. Steve's probably hanging from the ceiling. I want to meet Steve. What do you think? I'd love to meet Steve.
Yeah,
I'd have a beer with Steve.
I would. Yeah, I would think absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, the lawsuit. I guess they got served. I'm the only one not getting sued. Feel left out, but it's okay.
So is it for defamation or what?
Defamation and all that?
Oh, wasn't it like $20 million or some shit?
25.
Get the fuck out of here.
Well, the thing I keep saying is, dude, he's a strange dude. The other day I posted on my story. He went to a seal museum and like in bad audio on his phone recorded the little display that's like running on the wall explaining the raid. And he's like, look, guys, it's in a museum. It's 100% for sure. And my response was, well, there was a whole museum about landing on the moon. And I don't know if that's for sure. I mean, I don't, we believe everything we see in a museum, but even the video, like I didn't realize that Tyler and them had a, I think it's episode 137 maybe of Antihero. They had a deception expert on and they got into like all that. And I talked about this the other day. All I'm going to say is I've been involved in a handful. I'm sure I know you have all your shootings and all that. There's certain things that you're involved in, critical incidents that you may not remember the back, like if there's people in the background, what they were wearing, who they were, but you and the person involved. I know the two times I came close to shooting somebody, both situations, I can take you there in detail about what they did, how they stood, where they were at, how it all went down. Now, if there was a McDonald's wrapper on the ground, I'm not going to remember all those fine details, but I can tell you I almost shot a guy on a bike with a machete, and I almost shot a guy with a gun in his back that was banging on the window when I pulled up with his girlfriend in Fellsmere. And in those two incidents, I can take you step by step by step. You can ask me then, now, and in 12 years from now, and I will tell you the same story every single time because it didn't change. It happened this way. When a guy goes on multiple podcasts and the story, a pretty big story, changes, that's a problem. And then other people say it, and all these guys did was repeat it. So it is what it is. I mean, it'll work itself out. You sell Prim Heroes sheets to go with those beds. Buzz Aldrin is going to sue you. Be careful. Yeah, that was the other joke we made. Like, what happened? The astronaut showed up yet to sue us. Rob O'Neill is developing alcohol-induced psychosis. I didn't say his name, but somebody did. Heroes don't sleep, Steve. Man, that Indian River episode today was fire. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. You know, things are to get stupid when experts get involved.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Because we're experts, and look how stupid this is.
Yeah. I don't know shit about fuck. I don't.
Well, it's common sense. Like when the experts get involved, especially in law enforcement, I think it's too far. This is a very basic job.
This is the most basic.
It is the simplest job, and every year that statute book grows for just the craziest things, and case law has manipulated. And when they wrote the Constitution, that's why I have such a problem with the way the laws are today. The Constitution was so simple. It was so basic. It was like this is how it is.
Yeah.
We allowed society to become stupid and come up with excuses. And instead of sticking to the document, they made decisions that, oh, well, now they probably thought this. No, they didn't. They said everybody can have a gun. Pretty simple words. Like, you can have a gun. You have freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, freedom of religion. We have all those freedoms. Now they're, and I agree with Steve on some of those things. Like, those things are being manipulated. Like, we have a constitution, case law, all this manipulation of the Constitution and all that stuff. And
interpretation.
Yep.
Yeah.
If the Constitution meant anything, you would not have been invaded, and we wouldn't have been the 38 trillion in debt. I'm not a smart man, but I'm the genius of my family. Yeah. And the Constitution, and it's been manipulated and twisted, and because people got late, people didn't want to keep doing the right thing. So they just manipulated things to make it more, I don't know what the word is, more fucked up, really, is what happened. And now we're so far gone that, You see it all the time. You arrest a guy for third-degree felony, second-degree, massive crime. He's gone. He's out in 2 weeks. You know, it's like
fucking bro. The guy that shot my buddy, he's back. The Fulton County let him out on bond.
Yeah.
He's just riding the fuck around the city. He drives around a lot. Like he's just driving the fuck around the city, man. Yep. Was in a gunfight and he's just riding around. Yep.
Thoughts on nonviolent felons restoring? I'm okay with that. I have a buddy of nonviolent. Right here. Thoughts on nonviolent felons restoring their Second Amendment?
Yeah.
I have a buddy of mine who never did anything wrong in his life but DUI. He had a huge alcohol problem right out of high school, and he got like 2 or 3 DUIs in like a period and became a felon for DUI driving. Mm-hmm. It's been 25 years. He's never gotten in trouble again. Like, or think about all the weed stuff, like guys with felony weed, like
felony weed. Yeah.
I'm just an old oil field worker, but have enough sense to know to a government that has borrow money to keep the lights on and home needs to be shut. I mean, Steve's right on a lot of things. Oh, that's where I was going with it. Steve was right about the auditors. Sean Reyes, the Long Island Auditor, just broke 1 million subscribers on YouTube. I saw him post a trophy, and he's going around. He actually got beat up, assaulted by a warden in New Orleans last week.
Oh shit!
He was in the public lobby of the jail, and this old time warden like hit him, like pushed him, shoved him, hit him, threw him out the door, and he went to the local sheriff's office to file a report, and they fucking slammed the door on him and walked out. They were like, "We're not taking the report either."
Didn't you say he was coming on here? Are you talking to him or some shit?
Yeah, I'm working on it. He's so busy. He's been in Melbourne, which is 30 minutes north of me. They illegally assaulted him as well and put their hands on him, and now he's rallying them. And it's just logistics. His sister's here, and he's usually visiting family. And my point of trying to connect with Sean is not like a one and done podcast, which he would have probably done remote. He offered. I'm like, that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I want to form some type of somewhat partnership, because I think him going around and calling cops out is a good thing. And he's not an aggressive piece of garbage like some of these auditors, like the guy up in Boston that walks around cussing cops up and down. Sean is very polite. He's very straight to the point. He's not nasty. He knows the law. But when he continues to highlight self-proclaimed heroes that are out and about enforcing the law that don't know the law, I agree that that's a problem. If you don't know what trespassing is, if you don't know that people can report you, that's a problem. Yeah. That is a problem.
Yeah.
Weed should be federally legal. I agree. Like, we got
to. Just
2 self-proclaimed heroes robbed me in New Orleans. That opened my eyes to how the serve and protect nonsense is really work.
There it is. There's Steve's that was his villain story. There it is, right there.
It's crazy to watch older episode cops and how much they enforce weed and how the times. Yeah, I'll be honest with you. Like, that was, you know it. Your days, even weed was it. Do you smell that weed? It was game on.
Weed was shit. Yeah.
That was the easiest way in a car. And I still will say, and when you're, and I used the word profile, but when you profile a criminal, and there's certain other factors that go with it, weed is a big deal in the criminal, because most guys that sell drugs and stuff smoke weed too. And it kind of goes along with it. But weed in and of itself, if you're sitting in your back porch smoking weed, or you're whatever, I don't, whatever. But, you know, you got to get into the impairment part. You can't be driving down the road freaking lit either.
Yeah.
You know,
I used the smell of weed to get your guns. That was my thing. I didn't give a fuck about the weed. I didn't give 2 shits about weed, but I wanted the guns that were in this car. I know they're in here. I know they're in here.
You know, I've only lost a few trials in my life. One was that's why I hated DUIs. I lost a DUI once where the lady blew over the limit. But the jury, we saw her roadside. I was like, she's not that bad. And I'm like, she's not that bad. She blew over. I'm like, DUI, that's when I was done with it. And then I lost a weed case. The dude threw weed out the window, and it like landed on the car. And it was a small amount, but I'm like, you're fucking throwing stuff out the window. You're going to jail. If you'd have just been like, hey, dude, I got it. They found him not guilty. In possession of marijuana, simple as it gets. They're like, not guilty. I'm like, I'm done with weed too.
Yeah.
Where I lived, the heroes were ruining a kid's life over a smoke sack and rolling, but are afraid of cartel because they will fight back. I did clean up after Katrina. New Orleans cops straight up drove away in their cruisers and left them on the interstate when they ran out of gas. I can only imagine what that was like. I know that was a disaster over there.
Disaster. Yeah.
All right, what do we got? Next week is Wednesday, right? I may not be on Wednesday because Thanksgiving is on Thursday, we may do Anti-Hero on Wednesday. So we will maybe we'll do Tuesday night if you're available. We'll throw it on a Tuesday night, see what's going on. Who else we got here? We appreciate you guys tuning in. Please check out tomorrow. I'll be live 11 to 1 on the Anti-Hero broadcast, and tomorrow night 8 to 10 on the night shift on Counterculture and Anti-Hero. And that's it. Check out my hold on, we got one more thing. You know, any River are watching your episodes. Do you think they will ever come after your wife to get back at you? Because I imagine you are making them uncomfortable. Who says they're not already?
Yes, they will. Yes,
Who says they're not already? But I fear, and I'll close with this. And this is where I stand with Steve on self-proclaimed heroes. If you ever feel that the government is going to come after you for doing something, and then you're doing it right. And when it comes to getting information out, I'm not lying. I don't fabricate. Everything I say is actual and factual. Oh, that might be a cool sticker. Actual and factual with Copville.
I thought you've been saving that one.
No, dude, I'm an illiterate fool.
You had
Factual and actual. Everything that comes from Copville is factual and actual.
No, factual.
But yes, I fear. My daughter also works there, so I am constant fear. And I will tell you, since I've been gone, we got Kelly Clarkson going now. We're getting it all in there. I am terrified. I have glasses, recording glasses. I keep my gun on me. I'm terrified every time a cop gets behind me now. And I worked 23 years, obviously, as a cop, where I didn't worry. And I will tell you, being in a local town with the crooks and criminals that run this place and this agency, I am a little worried some days, but not really, because you just defaulted to a horrible and dangerous mental health stigma. It was the first thing you said. That's horrible. Yeah, I talked about that in mental health, but here's the rules. I don't do drugs. I don't possess drugs, and I will not shoot myself. So if any of those things happen, people, I promise it wasn't me. So I appreciate everybody tuning in. Jordan, thanks again for another week of carrying the show like you always do. You got any parting words for the people?
Nope.
All right. Train hard, do jujitsu, know your case law, and support.
Be a good cop.
Be a self-proclaimed hero. Make Steve proud.
Make Steve proud.
Appreciate you guys. We'll see you next week, maybe Tuesday, because Wednesday I'm busy. You guys, thank you for everything.
See the patch of my arm right here? What's that say? It says they're not fucking around crew. That's what that says.